Brought to you by Penguin.
A Beautiful Evil by Bea Fitzgerald. Read by Perdita Weeks. Chapter 1. The king of the gods demanded a beautiful evil, and so I was born. They're reckless things, words, especially on the lips of gods. Beings have been created from less, from blood and flesh, from seed and soil, from hopes and wishes. A good handful of the pantheon spewed forth from errant thoughts. And there I was, a command. Kalon kakom, a beautiful evil. Words made me, ones issued by Zeus himself, but then hands, careful and precise, and I became more than the furious venting of an impetuous god. I wasn't supposed to be yet, and I knew, even as the gods crafted me, that I ought to hide myself away until they declared me whole. They would be so much happier to believe I owed everything to them. I was the first human woman, and this was to be my foundation. Smile, keep my mouth shut, and listen. The gods bickered among themselves as Hephaestus worked, carefully carving out each individual tendon in my hand, chiseling each freckle and mole.
Make her hair longer. Give him something to hold on to. Oh, come on. You can go bigger than that with the breasts. Are you serious? We're going to need to reinforce her back at this rate. You've got good hips there. Give her thighs to match. Yes, just right with the stomach. Oh, she looks so delightfully soft. Soft? She's made of clay. Well, she's not always going to be, is she? She'll be a full-rounded woman, flesh and blood, with a belly to lay a head down upon and thighs to bury yourself. Yes, I get the point. Are you sure about the nose, though? Looks a little too upturned. He's not going to care about her nose with ankles as enticing as those. I didn't know them all, but one boy arched a coy eyebrow in a way that identified him, with an instinct drawn from whatever forces had conceived me. He was mischief incarnate. Hermes. Now cutting a half-amused sneer at the man who had just spoken. Her ankles, Poseidon. Yes, what's wrong with admiring a nice shapely pair of ankles? At this point, I'm beginning to believe that if it turns you on, it's intrinsically wrong. I didn't like it, the way they picked over me piece by piece, like I was deficient if I did not align with their ideal. One they couldn't even settle on themselves, each one shouting their preferences. No sooner had Hephaestus made adjustment than they changed their minds, like my form would be an ever-racing thing, chasing after their whims in a competition I could only inevitably lose. But as much as Hephaestus indulged their wishes, he alone seemed more considered. The god of blacksmiths creating me to be more than the sum of my parts, and I realized, as he inflated my lungs and pumped blood through my heart, that he was pouring something else into me, too. A sort of resolve, solidifying with each chip of vertebrae down my spine. Love. He was creating me with love. The sort of adoration an artist has for their creation, and I did not care that to him I was just another thing he had made. Because it was a thing one step removed from the intentions that had birthed me. And soon there was so much love within me that the words Zeus had spoken, whatever they were, slipped clean from my newly formed mind. She's a bit young, isn't she? A woman asked, something about her painful to look at, though I didn't understand why until she brought her hand to my temple, filling me with thoughts of longing and desire. Aphrodite. The name was the barest whisper of sea foam against waves. Goddess of a trickling array of responsibilities, yet beauty sang loudest. Looking at her triggered lust and envy in equal measure. I wanted to tear my gaze away, the embarrassment too fierce, but it would have been worth...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?